Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with another episode of Ripe for Reissue. And the Ripe for Reissue box, in this case, is this one. Now, pieces of this are available in all other formats and ways, but this was a smart and beautiful box. This is Liszt orchestral music and works for piano and orchestra featuring Michel Béroff and the Gewandhaus Orchestra under Kurt Masur. And this was a great set. It really was. I mean, it's not like there are many sets of Liszt tone poems that are worth hearing, for example. But here is more than that, because you get the Faust Symphony and the Dante Symphony, and they're all very, very nicely performed. The thing about Masur that really worked with this is that, Liszt is so flamboyant and so questionable in terms of taste and so kind of random in his handling of form. The best thing you can do with the music is nothing. Just let it be itself. And that was Masur. Masur had no personality whatsoever. I mean, let's face it. He was a very average guy, kind of conductor. And I mean, he did some wonderful things like everybody did. I mean, if you do enough things, some of them will necessarily be wonderful. But the Gewandhaus is a terrific band. And they had the right quality, I just think, to let this music kind of shine in a natural, flowing, God dare I say it, unassuming way. I mean, the contrast between Masur's simple, straightforward, swiftly flowing, no-nonsense brusqueness, and Liszt's insane flamboyance really works. It just works. I mean, they were well-recorded performances, and the piano and orchestra stuff with Béroff is terrific. It really is. I mean, Totentanz is wonderful. The piano concerti are excellent. It's really, really, really good. And it's gone. I mean, when this came out, I snagged a couple of them because I said, oh, this isn't going to last. Liszt performances, Liszt sets never last, do they? I mean, what do we have for the tone poems? There's a Naxos set that's pretty good, and there's a Chandos set that's all right, and there's that Haitink set on Philips, which is boring, and there's Arpeggio, which was now on Hungariton, or was on Hungariton if it's still around. That was probably the most exciting of the whole batch that you could get. And then there was this one, which was kind of like your go-to version. And let me just tell you what you get here, just so we're clear, because we've got 7 discs. And on those discs are Ce qu'on entend sur la montagne, what one hears on the mountaintop, also known in German as the Berg Symphony, the Mountain Symphony, which Tovey very memorably described as an introduction to a connecting link to an introduction to a series of still more introductory introductions to a connecting episode to a central melody which nobody will ever consider to be a real beginning to a recapitulation of all the introductions to the end. And yes, it is. And I love it. It's atmosphere. That's what it is. And then we have Tasso, Lamento e Trionfo, and Les Préludes, and Orpheus. That's disc 1. Disc 2 is Prometheus, Mazeppa, Festklänge. I love Festklänge. I mean, it's just the same thing repeated over and over and over and over again until you want to scream. But it's like kind of cool. Da 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 dum bum 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 boom ba ba dum. Does that a million times. And Héroïde Funèbre and Mephisto Waltz number 2. Then we've got on disc 3, Hungaria, Hamlet, Hunnenschlacht. I just love the name, Hunnenschlacht. It's like Schlachthaus 5. Slaughterhouse. Yeah, Schlacht. Die Ideal, Ideale. And from the cradle to the grave, von der Wiege bis zum Grabe, and eine Faust-Symphonie. I mean, that's all on CD 4, from Cradle to the Grave and the Faust Symphony. And what a wonderful performance of Gretchen. He takes it like in cut time. It takes about half the amount of time in any other performance. And it works so well. It really does. You almost like Gretchen. I mean, it's terrific. And then we've got 2 episodes from Lenau's Faust. which is the Mephisto Waltz #1 is one of them, and the other is the, Nachtlicher Zug, or whatever, the Nocturnal Procession, or then the Dance in the Village Dorf thing, you know what I mean, right? And then we've got the Dante Symphony, which is also very, very well done. I mean, it's wonderful just how all the gnarliness and nastiness works beautifully when you have a really good orchestra that just plays it, and a conductor who doesn't try to mask what it is. He lets it speak, and it's terrific. And then we've got the Piano Concertos 1 and 2 with the orchestration of the Wanderer Fantasy, which I love. It's a great piece of work. And the Polonaise Brillante. And then at CD7, the Hungarian Fantasy, the Fantasy on Beethoven's The Ruins of Athens, the Lelio Fantasy by Berlioz, Malediction, and Totentanz. What is not to love? So once again, the pianist is Michel Béroff, and it's Kurt Masur and the Gewandhaus Orchestra, Leipzig, and this should never, ever, ever, ever be out of print. It's rare. It's special. There aren't so many of them that they can't have the market to themselves. So, I mean, if you can still find it, knock yourself out. I wish you luck. It is a terrific set, and I just knew it wasn't long for this world. Poor Liszt. I mean, the man just can't buy a break. We can laugh at him a little bit. We can poke a little fun at him, at his pretensions, but he was a genius. He was an amazing, amazing genius, an original genius. And his music deserves to be available and appreciated and savored in the best possible performances. And these are them. They really are. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.